Absolutely. Let's break this down together. Experiment. A barge has loaded rocks on deck. The barge is afloat in a confined water tank. Question. What happens to the draft of the barge when dumping the rocks over the side in the confined water tank? What happens with the water level in the small confined tank? Answer. 1. Understanding draft. First, let's clarify what draft means. The draft of a ship or barge is the vertical distance between the water line and the bottom of the hull, the keel. Essentially, it tells us how deep the barge is sitting in the water. 2. Initial situation. When the barge is loaded with rocks, it displaces a certain volume of water, which is equal to the weight of the barge and its cargo, the rocks. This means the water level in the confined tank is at a specific height due to this displacement. 3. When rocks are dumped. When you dump the rocks overboard, here's what happens. The weight of the barge decreases because you're removing the weight of the rocks. As the weight decreases, the barge will float higher in the water because it now displaces less water. 4. Draft change. Since the barge is now lighter, the draft will decrease. The barge will sit higher in the water than it did when it was loaded with rocks. 5. Effect on water level. Now, concerning the water level in the confined tank. When the rocks are on the barge, they are causing the barge to displace a volume of water equal to their weight. However, when you dump the rocks into the water, they will sink because rocks are denser than water. Once they're in the water, they will displace a volume of water equal to their own volume, not their weight. Since the rocks are denser, they displace less water when they are submerged compared to when they were on the barge. Therefore, the overall water level in the tank will decrease once the rocks are dumped overboard. Summary. To sum it up, the draft of the barge decreases because it is lighter without the rocks. The water level in the tank also decreases because the rocks, once in the water, displace less water than they did while on the barge. Does that make sense?